And we're back. What's up, everybody? Benja Welldone coming at you live on this very bright and shiny, beautiful Corona-free day. Today is Thursday, December the 10th at 4:01 in the afternoon. How are you doing? So here's the thing. You know, there's something called pressure testing, which is basically taking something from theory to physical form and trying it out. So whether it's with comedy or jiu-jitsu, regardless, take comedy for example, because that's what I'm doing right now. When you apply your ideas in writing in reality and you speak them to people, you know at that moment whether they work or they don't work, which is exactly what I'm about to do now. I got a few errands to do, so because the world is on fire, and it's so hard to kind of perform now, with limited capabilities and stages and open mics and people not going out, what I do is whenever I improvise, right? And whenever I go shopping or I go to a store or something like that, I'm in the checkout line. When I'm all the way in the back, I start working on my material. And it's just like a few lines. So this way, basically, I won't have another circumstance where I go on stage just based off of writing alone, which is not good enough. Because the problem with my writing alone, when I did that for like a show, like a month or so ago, whatever, was I didn't pressure test it. Now, I mean, imagine a professional boxer, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Imagine, for easiest concept, like a professional boxer trying a punch that he didn't ever train. You know? Now, there's the technique of learning how to do the punch. And then there's sparring, which is kind of like the pressure testing. And then there's the live, real moment. All right, what I mean by that is it would be the fight night, or in my case, you could call it like a comedy show night. Or if I did a jiu-jitsu tournament, hypothetically, it would be a fight night as well. Yeah, that's that is what I'm on my way to do right now. And you know, I used to do this thing that I was working on, as everyone else I'm sure did have plans. I was working on kind of making like a TV show. And basically, I would go out to like bus stations and stuff like that and just do comedy, stand-up, and work on new material and, you know, try to make people laugh. And that was around February the 15th. And I remember this specifically because I had just started doing bus stops and bus stations like in January, February, and I came up with this idea. And it would be like a TV show, but like on YouTube. Please don't steal my idea. I get it, whatever. Yeah, so then when this Corona thing started, everything was going so great, and then boom, now I got to keep like a safe distance, and it's kind of hard. Oh, that's another thing. Whenever I'm saying jokes and materials, if I got my face mask on, it's really, really challenging for people to see my facial expressions and know whether I'm being sarcastic or not. And stuff like that, even tone and like inflection and stuff. If it gets like muffled up in translation, having a face mask on, people, it's like I'm noticing that things are falling off in translation. Whereas if I was in a place like a parking lot and I'm leaving the parking lot, if I say it without a face mask, the exact information, the exact material, jokes and everything, everybody laughs. So, but again, people are kind of uncomfortable with not having a face mask. Having a random individual such as myself come up to them without a face mask and start telling them jokes, because nobody's trying to laugh and get Corona. So anyway, I was just giving a quick update. I hope everybody is having a beautiful day, doing great things, and I'm still out here grinding. I think it's very interesting for the people that do listen to this channel, knowing that what my work ethic is and how much momentum I had prior to Corona, all these big things. And then, like myself and many others, I went from being relatively known in the area to who's that guy. because I'm not from here, and I started establishing a name for myself in a very positive way in the local comedy area, and getting more known and more known. And you know, with like anything, not everyone's gonna like everybody, and I get that. That's fine. But yeah, in general, I started kind of making a name for myself, and not in a bad way, I'm saying. And then Corona hit and all that sort of went to shambles. Not exact shambles, that's a little exaggeration, but in general, I'm just a lot less known because comedy shows are kind of scarce, so I'm getting booked right now, and everyone's kind of scratching and clawing for opportunity, as am I as well. So just because you're not on a comedy show, or just because you don't have an opportunity, doesn't mean you're better than somebody else. That just means they got there and you didn't. And a lot of times, if you're not the gatekeeper, so to speak, like the person that owns these clubs, or you know, whatever the case may be, it's not necessarily even up to you. So when I get on stage, I gotta wow, and I gotta impress, and I gotta make them linger with memory of my greatness. And I know it sounds arrogant and bold and conceited, but it's not. I have to have that lingering effect, which is why it's so important to me to having impressionable, lasting material that's better than everyone else. So, but that's always my goal with everything. So anyway, I hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your day. I'm Benja Welldone. I gotta go in the store real quick and get a few items. While I'm in there, I'm gonna pressure test. So yeah, without further ado, I'm Benja Welldone. Check me out. Peace.